What's up, guys? Just wanted to stop in. I know the season is approaching very quickly. Wanted to break down some dynasty wide receiver stashes, guys that I'm just drafting late and hoping for the best. Done a couple startup drafts recently and been targeting these guys. So first one I'm going to go with is Torrey Horton on Seattle, and he has had a very strong camp. He was super productive at Colorado State. Obviously got hurt towards the end of his career there. Has been rehabbing the whole offseason. Just stepped in right as training camp started, and he has been balling. Had that touchdown a couple weeks ago. I know he tweaked his ankle in the last game, and they took him out for a precaution. But he could easily be creeping up on that wide receiver 3 role in Seattle. You're talking about JSN and Cup in front of him. Cup isn't getting any younger. Horton seems to be a very nice looking prospect, and he could definitely start getting work probably a lot quicker than a lot of people thought he might. The second guy I want to talk about is Dante Thornton, a fourth-round pick for the Raiders. They drafted this guy. He is every bit of 6'4", 4'3", flat, 40. I know everybody was kind of concerned about his route tree, but if you turn on the tape, when he was at Oregon, he was asked to do a little bit more than he was doing at Tennessee. Tennessee, what they want to do, they were having him get vertical. Obviously, he averaged 25 plus yards a catch his senior year. So the big playability is there, and they are targeting him early and often. On the game last night, I think Geno targeted him down the field 2 times on the opening drive alone. This is a guy you can get for free right now, almost. Not free, he's been moving up boards, but still, just super easy pick. Just pick him up in the 15th, 17th round. Just hold him. He's out running with the ones already. He's making big splash plays in camp. Seems to be every other day, and I think Geno missed him. I think Geno, you looked over after the one, Geno overthrew him, and he was like, Geno knew he just missed him by a couple inches. And so he's going to be having the opportunity to get down the field and stretch the field, and he could be extremely good in that role. At that price point, you just can't beat it. So definitely get out there and target Dante Thornton. I also wanted to bring up a guy who just recently signed with Cleveland. So he basically was a really good prospect. Talking about Isaiah Bond, Texas. The production wasn't anything substantial, but he's one of those guys where you just watch him, you turn on the tape for him too, and his speed is just blazing. 5'11", 180, runs pretty good routes. Obviously can work on that a little bit, but he is super explosive. Obviously came out and said he wanted to set the combine record, 40-yard dash, and he was talking that smack, but didn't back it up. I think it was like 4.39, but he's a game breaker, and he will definitely turn a screen pass into a home run. So keep an eye on Isaiah Bond. I know he's getting picked up in a lot of leagues now that it looks like he could have avoided potentially suspension, or maybe looking at the minimal suspension, depending on how the investigation by the NFL and the Browns go. But either way, regardless, get him on waivers, drop some free agent budget on that man, and he will definitely reward you. Maybe not out of the gate, but long-term stash them. Don't let people lowball you, and just hold them and see what happens. Another guy I've been watching all preseason, making really nice plays, is A.D. Mitchell for the Colts. I know that they've got Pittman there. They've got Josh Downs, who has been a target hog for them for the past few years, and they've got a bit of a QB situation that seems to be on the unsavory side. So all those things are definitely factors, but his price point right now, where he's going, take a shot at him. He has been balling. If you turn on just the training camp footage and just the past few games and joint practices, he's making plays down the field. And I think it's a matter of time before he really comes into a nice role there. I know he was inconsistent last year with his catching, but his route running and his ability to get open are real serious. And if he can get just like work on his craft a little bit, get the catching down, less drops, I think he could be really nice. And I think maybe Richardson is looking pretty good too. They could be a nice pairing. Might be a hot take, but I like both of those guys. The next guy I'm going to talk about is Alec Aomenor for Tennessee, and he's another one of those guys. Stanford, 6'2", really good size. He's versatile. He can block. He's got a really good release, and I'm sure most of you guys saw that video. He was getting busy in that joint practice. I think it was against Tampa, and he shook that dude so hard, got back in the middle of the field. He was all by himself and took off. Had a big, I believe it was about 35, 38-yard catch to start the game. The other day, Cam Ward hit him. He turned up the field, and he's got some juice, man. He's 6'2", and he's a solid build, but he can move. And I think he's going to be a favorite for Cam Ward. Again, he's going to be competing for that number 3 role, so we'll see what he can do. But Cam Ward looks legit, and he's going to need people to throw to. I got a good feeling he's going to be one of them. So the other one I'm going to talk about right now is Pop Douglas. I don't really know why he's going so late. I know they've got some decent depth at receiver. You're talking about Diggs, and you got Kyle Williams that they just drafted, a bunch of other guys that are there competing for depth roles too. But I just think Pop Douglas is so safe, and he's going to play in the slot, and he is just going to command targets. He's been a target hog all camp, and I think that Pop will potentially, depending on how Diggs recovers from this, he could potentially lead them in targets, especially early in the season, if Diggs is slow out of the gate. So I love Pop Douglas. And then just one other guy I'm going to talk about right now. I've been kind of just stacking up on him all off season is Troy Franklin. I know that the coaching staff has said he's added 6-7 pounds, and he is super explosive. All the DBs are saying his release is so much better, and he's so much more comfortable. He finished last season, obviously, with that 43-yard touchdown in the playoffs out of the gate, took the lead on the Bills. Everybody was buzzing. Obviously, that game didn't finish so strong for Denver, but regardless, Troy Franklin is a guy that Bo Nix has known. They have played together and had a lot of success in college, and it didn't exactly translate to Franklin's rookie year. I think maybe he had a couple bumps in the road and needed some adjustments, but everything out of camp is that he has been absolutely flying. They're saying his speed is real, and he is a very serious deep threat. I know a lot of people are buying Marvin Mims as a sleeper in Denver, and while he might have a nice year, I believe 47% was the most snaps that Mims saw the entire year last year. Even when he was getting going, he still wasn't playing even half the snaps. They use him on special teams. He's obviously an elite special teams contributor. He can return kicks. He can return punts. He is a threat to score anytime he touches the ball. But we're talking about Franklin's 6'2", put on some weight, really getting his frame together, and his skills are just are pretty sick. He can fly. So I think he had 4 catches, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns last night, and he's just looking so good. So Troy Franklin's another guy. You can get him really late in drafts, and I highly recommend it. He is going to do some things. Might not be the most consistent guy. Have some weeks where maybe he's targeted a couple times. Maybe he doesn't get a catch. But he's going to have some weeks where he breaks it open and maybe has a game like he had last night. Maybe a couple touchdowns, maybe a couple big plays, a couple 90, 100-yard games. So at his price point, go out and target that man. And if he starts to really find a groove and him and Nix kind of hit it off, that's what Dynasty is all about, man. Finding those guys that you can get in the teens and the early 20 rounds. You can stash on your bench for a rainy day. And when you've got an injury or you've got a guy that gets a little bit older and you want to move on from him, you have got depth on your bench. You're able to go flip a guy that's 31 years old, maybe get a pick that you like and move these guys up into your starting lineup when they start the ball. So that's part of the strategy that I've got. Is you've got guys that age. You always want to hold guys that have the potential to come in and get in that starting lineup and make noise for you. And so hopefully that helps. Hopefully everybody's doing good. And just wanted to say what's up. And I'm so excited that the season's close. Appreciate all you guys, and have a beautiful day. See ya.